What is going on, guys? JD from New York here. Thank you so much for tuning back into the channel this evening. NXT for June 7th, 2017. This is your official review and results from tonight's TV tapings on the WWE Network. I want to thank everybody, as always, for tuning back into the channel. Thank you for your love and support. Thank you for really being with me during this difficult time, man. I do want to make mention before we begin tonight's show. There seems to be a little controversy, a little bit of a problematic situation with the IRWNetwork and how people feel, you know, with off-the-script retro being behind a $2.99 paywall for a podcast on Eric Bischoff's network. I am going to be, if you guys are watching this, I am going to be in my Patreon-only exclusive Discord server. We're going to talk about it there. I want to gauge everybody's opinion. I want to take maybe some recommendations. I am going to mention this again on Friday on Off the Scripts episode number 173 for June 9th. But I want you guys to be aware of what I have planned. All right, I'm thinking of ways to make both parties happy. I'm thinking of ways of maybe doing IRWNetwork for Off the Script Retro and then giving it to my patrons as well. We're going to figure something out. I don't want anybody to be upset, but I want you guys to know this is my time and my effort and my energy that I'm giving you, and I'm giving you something of great quality, okay? I'm not half-assing anything. I'm not asking you guys to, you know, shell out all this types of money, but I wish everybody would understand from a content creator standpoint. I wish everybody would understand the reason why IRWNetwork was even conceived. So everybody complaining that it should be for free, you're not sitting in my seat. You're not feeling the effects of everything happening on YouTube. You don't spend hours upon hours upon hours each and every day, each and every week, getting quality content out there for you guys. I could be doing anything else, but I opt to make content for you guys. I at least want some reciprocation back in the form of appreciation. And then I got to hear people telling me that I don't appreciate their patron pledges, and I got to hear people saying, how could you do this to us? And I'm already feeling the fucking headache from it, man, and I don't want to deal with that. Okay, I come on here each and every week. Monday with Raw, Tuesday for SmackDown, Wednesday with NXT, Thursday with Lucha Underground. It's going to be up until the end of Season 3. Friday, Saturday, Sunday with Off the Script. There's free content all week for you guys. If you enjoy what I do on a weekly basis, what is $2.99 to you? Nothing. Skip the McDonald's nuggets, skip the fries, and listen to some audio podcast. At least I won't give you a fucking heart attack in 20 years. Seriously. You know? Come on now. We'll talk about it in Discord. I don't want to upset anybody, so just leave it at that. All right, we'll talk about it again tonight, and we'll talk about it again on Friday. I am taking recommendations to make both parties happy. I just wanted to get that off my chest, okay? But this is NXT. It was a fun show tonight. Nothing overly impressive. You know, Bobby Roode made me smile for the first time today with his glorious promo on Roderick Strong. No Way Jose returns back to action. We got Hideo Itami versus Oni Lorcan, the beautiful Peyton Royce in action. I actually do have news on Hideo Itami. We're going to start off with some NXT news and rumors right now. We're going to start off with this, man. Hideo Itami. Now, I was going to talk about this on Fridays off the script, but I'm not. I might as well do it here, being that it's an NXT video. Rumors today starting that Hideo Itami is thinking about leaving WWE. Apparently, there was something on WWE.com as far as, you know, him being interviewed by the website, and because of him losing against Bobby Roode, you know, what does the future hold for Hideo Itami? Everybody's thinking about him going back to Japan. His contract is up with WWE at the end of the year, and right now his career with WWE to some has been a disappointment. He came into the company with a lot of hype, but due to multiple injuries and extensive time away, he's not been able to reach his full potential. He recently received the chance at the NXT Championship against Bobby Roode. Their match was solid, but he was unsuccessful in his quest to win the NXT Championship. Now, SE Scoops is reporting that Hideo Itami's contract with WWE is coming to an end at the end of this year. He is reportedly considering leaving the company after his disappointing run so far. Dave Meltzer even chimed in and was asked about these rumors on the mailbag section of the Wrestling Observer radio show. He says that he doesn't know for sure if he's leaving, but he could see it happening due to Hideo Itami wanting to be closer to his family. Triple H also recently asked about Hideo Itami during NXT TakeOver Chicago and the media call before the event. This is what he had to say when asked about Itami's future if he had a poor showing at TakeOver. Hopefully, and I quote, hopefully he will rise to this occasion and he won't have to worry about that conversation. But if it doesn't, then he and I will discuss it and see what he wants to do next and what those next steps are. And we would go from there. Now, clearly, I want you guys to take this as a rumor, being that this was on WWE.com. I take nothing on WWE.com at full value. So, being that it was on their website, this is merely probably just a storyline or something of those sorts. But his contract is up at the end of the year. And the reason Meltzer gave is probably the most realistic one, that he wants to be back closer to his family in Japan. If he does leave the company, it would have been one of the most disappointing runs, but it won't be his fault because injuries do happen, and the extent of those injuries really kept him out. And he was on such a good path, a great path of momentum, and those injuries having him be away for almost 2 years. He's only been in WWE 3 years. 2 of those years have been injury-prone years. Imagine if he didn't get hurt and he continued on that momentum that he had when he first came in, all the hype and all the fucking pageantry that he had behind him. It would have been a completely different story. But being away for 2 years, you know, people forget about you. Influx of new talent, they come in and take your spot. And then when you come back from all those injuries, you got to start at the bottom of the barrel and work your way back to the top. Meanwhile, you were at the top before you got hurt. It sucks. I don't want to see Hideo Itami go. I think he is a really, really good hand in NXT, and I would love to see him develop into what we all had hoped for. But it might be too late. It might be too late. His contract is up at the end of the year. We'll worry about it then. Right now, looks like we got a program brewing with him and Cassius Ohno, hopefully for TakeOver in Brooklyn. So that is the latest on Hideo Itami and his contract negotiations or contract status and whatever is going on with him in the rumor mill. NXT officially announces the next TakeOver event, which I'm sure you guys know. You know, SummerSlam is just around the corner. And NXT, being that it's just 1 hour of television, it's usually 1 hour of television that we want to see most on WWE programming. But they're touring and they're giving away takeovers and things are now hitting their stride with the NXT brand. The TakeOver series has turned into a really special event with some of the best matches of the year in all of WWE, in all of wrestling. You know, that happens at these events. We just came off TakeOver Chicago where we seen, you know, the UK Championship bout between Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne. Probably going to be one of the best matches of the year when all is said and done. Matches like that we see at TakeOver. Today, on Twitter, Triple H announced that TakeOver Brooklyn 3 will take place on August 19th in the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, which you guys should have known already. This is the 3rd year in a row that that show will take place the night before SummerSlam. There is no word on if there will be another takeover event before Brooklyn. I don't think so, because it would be too close together. You know, I think they got most of the tapings done for June. Then we got July, and then we'll hit August, and then we'll get ready for TakeOver. I don't think there's going to be another one. But it will be happening at the Barclays Center on August 19th. Triple H tweeted, "It's time for NXT TakeOver. NXT TakeOver Brooklyn, Saturday, August 19th at the Barclays Center. Tickets on sale this coming Friday at 10 a.m. Probably already sold out before we even get to Friday at 10 a.m. I remember I tried to get tickets last year on Ticketmaster. I was there waiting a half an hour online, 9:59 a.m. I went to Ticketmaster.com. I tried to go for TakeOver, and I tried to get the best seats possible. Done. Couldn't get anything, man. These tickets are pre-sold. They're pre-sold to family, friends, you know, and you know, people who usually go to see TakeOver live, or not TakeOver live, but NXT live when they tour. They're given pre-sale codes that they can get tickets before they even go on sale. So, you know, it's very difficult for someone like me, unless I know somebody with an in, to get in there for TakeOver, man. But You know, it's going to be a great show nonetheless. And to be quite honest with you, I'd rather watch this show from a bar with a cold beer, or I'd rather watch it at home and then do a review after the show's on, you know, off the air on the network. But that's just me. This will probably be the biggest TakeOver show of the year. Chicago's up there. Chicago was great, but this is probably going to be the biggest TakeOver of the year. I wasn't too impressed with TakeOver Orlando for WrestleMania weekend. It was good, but nowhere where it was last year with Dallas, with Nakamura and Zayn. We got TakeOver Brooklyn, probably going to be the biggest TakeOver of the year. So I can't wait to see what happens with that. Finally, we got news on a former TNA knockout signing with WWE. And I couldn't be more happier about this. This is a fantastic move by WWE. In fact, we'll be talking about her in just a little bit. She was actually on the show tonight. One more for the Roode touring crew. NXT has gone from a small developmental promotion to a third touring brand for WWE. They have their roster down in Florida and another that goes around the country. With many stops to make, it would be a good idea to bolster their ranks a bit, which is what they are currently doing right now. According to WrestlingInc.com, WWE has signed former Impact Wrestling star Thea Trinidad, who is also married to Austin Aries, for those who don't know. She wrestled for TNA under the name Rosita, and she is coming to NXT. Trinidad is the fiancée of Austin Aries and has been seen on NXT TV as well as appearing as one of Adam Rose's Rosebuds. I don't remember that, but apparently, there you go. Fun fact. There is no word on when she would start appearing for NXT, but like I said, we would, we would see her in tonight's taping in a segment with Mr. Andrade Cien Almas. This is a good pickup. She is going to, again, add another nice little piece to the NXT women's division, and it looks like we have a storyline brewing here with Almas's, carelessness and him wanting to be a party animal and a ladies' man. Clearly, per storyline, he and Thea Trinidad have somewhat of a history, so it's going to be interesting to see what's happening with that. You know, very interesting stuff brewing in NXT, man. That's why I've been saying, give them some time. Things are going to pick up. It looks like I am right. And Thea Trinidad now signs with WWE. She is with NXT. That's pretty much it for the news, man. As far as tonight's show goes, we had Hideo Itami versus Oni Lorcan. No Way Jose versus Killian Dane. We'll get into that. But first, I want to thank the sponsors for the show, man. I want to thank everybody for pledging to the Patreon page. As always, patreon.com/JDFROMNY206. Thank you guys so much for your continued love and support. If you guys want to support the show on the podcast on a weekly basis or a monthly basis, you guys can do that, man. Little as $1 a month goes a long way. You guys are going to get extra perks, and I am working on getting you guys off the script retro over there, so you guys have something to really look forward to, man, to sink your teeth into. We'll be talking about that a little bit later as well. But if you guys want to pledge, man, patreon.com/JDFROMNY206. Good things coming for all my Patreons, man, so bear with me. I also want to thank my sponsors over at Audible, man. They treat me like fucking royalty, man. Audible is so fucking good to this show, to this channel, to the podcast, and I hope you guys are doing the same back to them, man. Audible's offering everybody listening each and every video that I do. They're offering you 30 days free to try their service out with one free audiobook of your choice. All you have to do is go through the sign-up process, and you guys fill out the appropriate information. You pick your audio book, and once that book is chosen, you are supporting JD from NY, man. Thank you guys so much. audibletrial.com/offthescript. Over 180,000 choices to choose from. A lot of those are wrestling related. And if you guys don't want anything wrestling related, man, you guys can have anything you want, man. So go check that out. Compatible with iPhone and Android. So Audible is offering you guys something for free just for listening to the show tonight. audibletrial.com/offthescript. Make sure you guys show some love to my good friends over at Audible. And if you guys want a t-shirt, man, thank you to everybody that bought t-shirts today. I did get notifications. They will be shipped out to you within 2 weeks. barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. We are an official partner with Pro Wrestling Tees and Barbershop Window, man. $19.99. They are of excellent quality, even though my Yankee Sucks t-shirt is kind of on the rugged side because I've had this for several years. Not getting rid of this one, man. Not getting rid of this one. I got to look to replace this one soon. The lettering is kind of fading away on here. But they are of excellent quality. $19.99, they ship worldwide. JD is Negan, still one of the more popular t-shirts on there. Definitely my most popular t-shirt. The JD is Negan, get off my TV hit list. I got ideas for new shirts, so keep an eye on that, man. If you want your t-shirts now, Goon City, Roman Reigns, Dana Brooke, Eva Marie, Big Show, get off my TV, they're all there, man. So make sure you guys check it out. That's barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. Follow me on Twitter, at JDFROMNY206, and hit that subscribe button, man. We got reviews galore each and every week. Raw, SmackDown, NXT, Lucha Underground, and, of course, Off the Script Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Let's get into NXT, man. We had, I don't know why they changed his name. I really don't know why they changed his name, man. This was, let me look. I forgot. For some reason, I'm drawing a blank right now, and I apologize. I need to look this guy up. Lars Sullivan, NXT. I want to look this guy. Dylan Miley. That's the guy's name. I don't know why they changed his name. He went from Dylan Miley to Lars Sullivan. I don't know what the name change was for, but we got a name change. I knew who he was just based on his appearance, but I'm like, why the fuck did they change his name? Victor Andrews, some local guy, some bum, and Lars Sullivan, a.k.a. Dylan Miley, this monster of a man, they are going up against Heavy Machinery. And needless to say, we have Heavy Machinery who are in line for a tag team title shot. I'm assuming that's going to be the next title shot, or the next tag team title feud against Authors of Pain. Heavy Machinery defeated Victor Andrews and Lars Sullivan via pinfall, following a finishing move that they are calling the Compactor. So, Tucker Knight splashes onto the back of Otis Dotrovic while he slammed into Andrews. It's pretty much like one of them typical avalanche-type moves. Reminds me something right out of the Natural Disasters playbook, to be quite honest with you. Andrews here tagged himself in before the finish. You know, because Lars Sullivan, a.k.a. Dylan Miley, he could probably beat both of these guys on his own. That's how much of a monster of a man this guy is. But Andrews, like a dumbass, tagged himself in, and Lars Sullivan was just seething with anger on the outside. You got Andrews blowing the whole fucking match, and then what do you think happened at the end of the match? Afterwards, Sullivan tried to, you know, calm himself, and then he just let the anger take over, and he just completely destroyed this guy. He tore his partner apart. People were chanting, delete, delete, delete in the crowd. It was good. Now, if they just go back to Dylan Miley, because Lars Sullivan is just a shitty name, man. He'll probably undergo another name change by the end of this. He's still obviously green. He's still developing. He's been there for a couple of years now, but you clearly see that this guy is what WWE is looking for, and just based on his appearance, like I said last time he was in the ring on NXT, he's going to have a bright future just based on how he looks, man. So I can't wait to see how he develops. We got Heavy Machinery beating Victor Andrews and Lars Sullivan in the opening match. Clearly, Heavy Machinery is headed towards the Authors of Pain. We had a recap of last week's main event, and we have Killian Dane being hyped up with his match for No Way Jose. No one is safe, especially not No Way Jose. We'll talk about that in a second. A lot of people came to me on Twitter saying that they changed Sanity's theme song. Everybody was freaking out for no reason. We'll talk about it. We go from Sanity to Roderick Strong in the ring, cutting his first real NXT promo. He's addressing the NXT crowd at Full Sail University. Says last year was a roller coaster. He's in NXT. He's got a beautiful fiance, a new handsome baby boy. The biggest thing, however, was he opened up to the fans about something that he was ashamed of, and we all accepted him, meaning the video package that were shown to build him up as a credible, you know, character on NXT television. He thanks all of us, but there's something he wants, and that, you know, he's come to NXT for one particular reason, something he needs, and that is the NXT Championship. It's just not Roddy against the world anymore. It's Roddy, Marina, and Troy versus the world. And that will make him even more driven and inspired and passionate to be the best and hopefully reach the top of the mountain in NXT. Then all of a sudden we got the glorious one who comes out. And for the first time all day, Bobby Roode literally made me LOL, bro. Comes out. He's got a tissue in his hand and he starts fake crying. Absolutely hilarious, man. Bobby Roode is fantastic. He says, it's such an emotional story. He needs a minute. He's wiping his eyes. Roddy's got a lot going on. He's got a marginally hot wife, relatively normal kid. He's even finally got some wins under his belt. Bobby Roode really fucking sticking it to Roddy. Love it. Absolutely love it. Now he wants to play the Bobby Roode lottery in hopes of moving out of the trailer park and into that mansion on the hilltop. Boy, man, Bobby Roode, just a fucking dick. How can you not love Bobby Roode, man? So, the champ understands. Listen, bro, those diapers are expensive. You know, I understand how expensive they are. But that's not how it works in NXT. You just don't ask for championship opportunities. You gotta earn them. You know? Strong. You know, you're a good hand. You're a good hand here in NXT, but he's not championship material, says Bobby Roode. Maybe one day you can take that selfie together with me, the champ, and you could go home to show your wife and your son, there's the champ. And son, there's your old man. Bobby would then, really stick it to Strong, but he doesn't get to play the Bobby Roode lottery. So, Bobby Roode really sticking it to Roderick Strong here. The one thing I didn't like about this, and I'm sure you guys thought the same thing here, Bobby Roode was fantastic. I loved his promo against Roddy. I don't see this being the NXT feud going into Brooklyn. I do still think it's Drew McIntyre. But the one thing I didn't like here is that Roddy didn't get at least some retaliation on Bobby Roode. At least verbally. Because it looks like, I didn't read the spoilers, it looks like we might get Roddy getting physical with Bobby Roode before he gets to Drew McIntyre. But I didn't like that Bobby Roode was just, one and done here. End all, be all. Roddy just left the ring with nothing. With no retaliation, no verbal barrage back to Bobby Roode. He didn't have anything to say after that, which is a little bizarre to me. But I do have a feeling, being that I didn't read the spoilers yet, I do have a feeling that Roddy's going to let his actions speak more than his words. So we have that to look forward to. But it was a very, very good promo by Bobby Roode. Roderick Strong, again, continuing to be built up as a nice hand on NXT. Again, man, we talked about it last week. I could see Roderick Strong making a very, very strong case for a mid-card title in NXT, man, because I just don't see him. I'm not saying that I don't see him in that role. I just don't see him yet in Bobby Roode's territory. I think he would play a very, very good role as a secondary title holder in NXT. So we'll have to wait and see if that even comes to be for the brand. Nikki Cross is somewhere in the bowels of the building, obsessing over Asuka and wanting to play again. But they are getting ready for a triple threat match. We got Nikki Cross, Ruby Riott, and Asuka next week in an elimination triple threat match. A rematch from TakeOver Chicago. Should be interesting. Peyton Royce looked better than ever tonight. And I mean physically, not in the ring, but she's very good in the ring, trained by Lance Storm. She's coming along very nicely. Sarah Logan was her opponent tonight. Beautiful fisherman suplex. I love that Peyton Royce has that perfect plex, fisherman suplex as her finisher, man. She does it very well. Peyton Royce looking very good, man. I see big things for Peyton Royce. It looks like they're setting up Peyton Royce versus Ember Moon here. But Ember Moon and Asuka are, you got to know, they're headed for a collision course for Brooklyn, which I'm assuming is going to be the Women's Championship. But Peyton Royce is going to have something to say before we get to Brooklyn. I see Peyton Royce and Ember Moon feuding on the way to Asuka. So we got that to look forward to. Sarah Logan, I've never seen before. They played her up as, some type of mixed martial arts background. She did very well against Peyton Royce. It wasn't one of those throwaway matches, one of those jobber matches. She did get some offense in there, but I don't know of anything of her past history, if she does have one. So Peyton Royce gets the victory here with a perfect plex, a fisherman suplex over Sarah Logan. We got, what do we got here? Oh, yeah, here we go. We got the former Mary Dobson. That's who it is. Oh, my God. See, look at that. Mary Dobson. Nigel McGuinness actually gave her some of her backstory. She was born in the woods of Kentucky, used to watch pro wrestling with her grandmother, and grew up practicing wrestling with a goat. That's the information we got from Nigel McGuinness. So there you go. You guys don't need to tell me. It's right there. Andrade Cien Almas. We got a scene from Almas losing last week to that Brazilian guy. So the upset loss didn't seem to upset Mr. Almas. And all of a sudden, we got someone trying to interview him. He just completely ignores the interviewer. And then all of a sudden, we see Thea Trinidad, Rosita, come into frame. And she says, "Is this who you are now?" And Almas is standing there, and he literally has the taste slapped out of his mouth by Thea Trinidad. And she walks off. So obviously there's some history there. It might be a current girlfriend. It might be a past girlfriend. I don't know. But apparently, she's going to be the one to whip this guy back into shape, you know? And to be quite honest with you, she's much better looking than the 3 fucking hooas that he had on his arm walking out of Full Sail University. But very interesting stuff here, man. This is something that could really make Andrade Cien Almas interesting again. I enjoy his in-ring work, but he needs that extra push. A beautiful woman could be it. And Thea Trinidad is clearly a prime candidate. So I can't wait to see what happens with that. Interview from WWE.com with Hideo Itami. He tells Christy that he's not going back to Japan. He's worked too hard to get where he is right now, and he's not going to give up after one loss. He is not done. And I wish the neighbors would shut their fucking dog up, because I know that's filtering into my microphone. So we go from the interview to Hideo Itami versus Oni Lorcan. This ends in a no contest, and holy shit, man. They probably told each other, we're going to beat the shit out of each other. Let's just go all hands on deck here, man. Slap the fucking shit out of each other, beat the shit out of each other. Oni Lorcan was literally fucking this guy up. They were going back and forth, the chops, the fucking open hand slaps, the knees. These guys beat the shit out of each other. And this ended with Hideo Itami hitting 3 go-to-sleeps. So the referee ended this in a no contest. Cassius Ohno comes out to stop him. While Ohno tried to talk him down, Hideo shoved Ohno down. And we have a conflicted Cassius Ohno not knowing what the hell's going on. He doesn't know what's getting into Hideo Itami. And it looks like this is going to be a feud heading on into TakeOver Brooklyn. We're going to have a several-week build here between these two guys. And if you thought the intensity was there with Oni Lorcan and Hideo Itami, you for sure know it's going to be there with Cassius Ohno. That's going to be a physical fucking match, man. So I can't wait to see. That strong style was very present tonight, and it's going to be with the feud with Cassius Ohno, man. I'm very much looking forward to see what both of those guys do together. Ember Moon was interviewed. She acknowledges coming up short in her first women's title match, having her second one taken away from her by a forced injury because of Asuka. But now she needs to take care of the Peyton and Billy dilemma before she goes on to Asuka. She will have her opportunity again granted to her, and it will be the time she takes the NXT Women's Championship. And then finally, Killian Dane versus No Way Jose. Killian Dane wins with the Ulster Plantation. Not much of anything here in the main event. Everybody was freaking out about the theme music for Sanity. They didn't change Sanity's theme music. I don't understand why you guys thinking they would change Sanity's theme music. They only added bagpipes because Killian Dane is from that part of the country. So obviously they want to distinguish Killian Dane away from everybody else, you know. He is of that background, so they figured, you know, let's pipe in some bagpipes here and kind of differentiate and kind of mix it in with the original Sanity music. Everybody was flipping out. How could they change Sanity's theme music? Why would they do that? Blah, blah, blah. Who gives a shit? You know? Are you here to watch Killian Dane be a beast, or are you invested more in his music? I don't get people. Just leave it as is. Killian Dane is a monster. I can't wait to see what he does on his own eventually in the future, because I see him being a big deal in WWE. Just by the look of him and the way he wrestles and his appearance, his size, I think he's got a bright future in WWE. No Way Jose is another one of those guys I think that would benefit from a mid-card title, I'll be honest with you. I don't see him. For whatever reason, I seen him have some momentum, and then that was stalled. He was out for a couple of months with an injury. But I see him benefiting from a mid-card title as well. I think a mid-card title, honestly, like we talked about last week, is needed in NXT. It would do a lot of these guys favors, especially if they're seen with a mid-card title. It would at least appear to the fans that, you know what, this guy's a big deal. He could be a potential world title caliber athlete. So No Way Jose would definitely fit into that category. Killian Dane would even fit into that category. Someone asked me on, I don't know if it was on Twitter or Patreon, I did mention months back, speaking of Killian Dane, he's in Sanity. Someone mentioned to me, JD, do you see Sanity holding all the NXT titles like you predicted at the beginning of the year? Eric Young with the world title. We got Killian Dane and Alexander Wolf, the tag team titles. And then, you know, Nikki Cross with the women's championship. Right now, I don't see that happening. Before all this influx of talent, yes, I did see it happening. But now with, you know, We got Roddy Strong being built up, and we got Drew McIntyre, and we got Aleister Black there, and we got the incoming debut, I hope, of Adam Cole. I'm hearing WWE is interested in Dalton Castle. I'm hearing that they're interested in Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish. You know, I see a lot of things happening in NXT that could potentially stall that. But as of right now, no, I don't see that happening anymore. In the beginning of the year, yes. Before the influx of talent, yes. But now, I do not. But Killian Dane wins with the Ulster Plantation, defeats No Way Jose, and Sanity stands tall at the end of this week's NXT tapings. Thank you guys so much, man. That's your NXT review. If you enjoyed the video, hit that thumbs up. And follow me on Twitter, at JDFROMNY206. Hit that subscribe button down below with the bell for the notification. I will be back tomorrow morning with Lucha Underground. Johnny Mundo versus The Mac in All Night Long Part 2. Who's going to be the Lucha Underground champion? I didn't watch it yet. I'll be watching it tonight before I close my eyes to go to sleep, man. Thank you guys so much. Patreon.com/JD from NY206. And t-shirts, barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. And audibletrial.com for your free audiobook tonight. audibletrial.com/offthescript. I am JD. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning with Lucha Underground review for tonight's show. Until then, have a good night. And I'll see you guys in Discord this evening, man. I'll be chatting it up with you guys. Thank you so much. And I'll see you all tomorrow for Lucha Underground. Talk to you later.